Hey everybody, Pat Blocker here with the Peaceful Pause Method. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to have a special edition of the Peaceful Pause Method today. I want to share a personal story with you, and it's about an amazing experience that I have recently had and using the Peaceful Pause Method myself. So I wanted to share that with you. Before we do, as always, if you would hit subscribe and like, and if you'd like to share this video with your friends, I would appreciate that. And then we can all stay in touch. So I wrote this story, and what I'm going to do is basically read it to you so that I don't miss anything. And excuse me, the story is entitled, It Didn't Come From Fixing Her Behavior, It Came From Understanding It. For some time now, I've been in a challenging cycle with my German Shepherd, Helen Wheels. She's always been a vigilant dog, which is typical of her breed, German Shepherd. But her barking had become nearly constant. Outside, it was at every little thing. Inside, the same. And for me, someone who lives with PTSD, that barking can be more than a nuisance. It can be a trigger for me. So I did what I'm trained to do as a professional dog trainer. And I tried to address the behavior, and I worked with her on coming inside when she barked. I reinforced quiet behavior. I gave her structured opportunities for success, uh, but she wouldn't come in. And I sort of knew, but I really couldn't quite figure it out. But I believe now that despite my best efforts to remain calm, she was picking up on my internal frustrations. And the more I tried to fix it, the more the tension between us escalated. I felt like we were stuck in a loop. She'd bark, I'd brace, she'd bark some more, I'd brace some more, and I was reacting, and she was reacting to my reaction. And we just kept spinning and spinning around. But beneath all of this, something deeper was happening, and it was something that I was really only beginning to understand. Over time, I noticed something curious. When I would have a nightmare, and this happened more than once, Helen would come into the bedroom and wake me up. She doesn't usually sleep in the bedroom. That spot is claimed by my other dog, lovely Rita. But Helen is the one who shows up when something's wrong. And this pattern began to quietly shape my understanding. Little by little, I started to sense that Helen wasn't just reacting to the environment. She was reacting to me, to my internal state, my unspoken emotions. And she had taken it upon herself to guard me, not just physically, but emotionally. I began to think of her as my emotional guard dog, now my emotional support dog, which she is that as well, but my emotional guard dog. Helen Wheels was named after the Paul McCartney song, and there's a line that rings true, especially today. That line is, "Ain't nobody else gonna know the way she feels." And that's pretty much Helen in a nutshell. No one else sees the depth of what she carries, but I do now. When I connected with her intuitively, I could feel it. She was deeply concerned, not anxious in a reactive way, but actively worried. She was trying to keep the bad things away, even those if those things weren't visible, especially the emotional ones. That realization did not arrive in one clear moment. It came slowly through many small ones. But once I finally clicked in, once I said to her in no uncertain terms, I see what you're doing and I appreciate you for it. Everything changed almost instantly. It was as if someone had flipped a switch. Her barking, both inside and out, diminished dramatically. She seemed lighter, more at ease, and I did too. Then came the vet visit. This is a situation that would normally push both of us to our limits. Helen usually starts barking. Uh, well, actually, she can start barking on the trip to the clinic when she sees people out on the street walking. And then she typically barks the moment we get out of the car. She barks all the way across the parking lot. She barks at the front desk and barks through the check in process. It's a stressful experience for both of us and probably the everyone in the room. So, but this time something extraordinary happened. She gave one small woof in the parking lot. At the front desk, she did bark briefly, but I was able to gently redirect her. She stood quietly on the scale while they got her weight. And while we sat in the exam room, she listened to people talking nearby and even heard other dogs barking in other exam rooms. She didn't bark. She didn't lunge. She stayed calm. That might sound like a small thing, but to us it was monumental. A few weeks earlier, I would not have believed that was possible. And it didn't come from trying harder to control her behavior. It didn't come from stricter cues or more repetitions. It came from finally understanding her. Helen isn't being difficult. She's being dedicated. Her job in her mind has been to keep me emotionally safe. Once she knew I understood, and that no longer needed to, I'm sorry, once she knew I understood and that I no longer needed her to carry that role so intensely, she could let go of it. This is the heart of what I try to share through the Peaceful Pause method. Behavior is communication. If we pause long enough to listen beneath the surface, our dogs are often telling us exactly what they need and what they feel we need to. Helen is still my vigilant, sensitive shepherd, but now that we're in sync, the volume has been turned way down. The worry isn't coming from the worry isn't running the show anymore. We're back in balance, and it started the moment I stopped trying to fix her and chose instead to understand her. I wanted to share that story with you because I have decided on a new way of presenting this and sharing this with everyone who wants to participate. I'm going to be doing a live online Q&A every month. And what we will do is we will connect with you and your animal. I will. Well, no, Helen and Rita will probably be here connecting as well. So I will be able to help you to connect with your dog and to get directly from the dog how they're feeling when they're doing these behaviors that we find challenging. So it depends on how many people are enrolled in the class, but I may not be able to get to everyone individually, but the cool thing is that uh, like anything else, if someone else has it, that question, very likely you have a question that's the same or similar, and we can all learn from each other's experiences. I will be recording it, so you'll have the chance to go back and rewatch it. Or if for some reason you can't join us live, you can watch the replay. This is going to be happening on August 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And it'll be 90 minutes. So hopefully we can get to as many questions and connections as possible. If you'd like to join us for this, you can do so on my website. My homepage is www.patblocker.com. And then the page about this is, let me get here. It's If you don't get that, then you can always email me, and that's info@patblocker.com. So I really hope that you can join us and that you can really experience this and see what magical things that the peaceful pause method can actually give us. Until then, or until next time, we'll probably see you next week here. Give your dogs some pets for me, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.